So obviously my experiences are different being a player of color. I've dealt with things in other countries of Germany, racism direct on, where I've actually dealt with Nazi skinheads, where I felt threatened for my life. Also not being allowed into establishments because it's not your kind tonight. And it's also happened in Canada where I show up to an establishment with my boys and it's like, hey guys, your shoes, you can't come in tonight. But it's more than that. It's the color of our skin and them feeling threatened by our appearance. I've been pulled over countless times, being considered a drug dealer when I haven't even done a drug in my life. And for me, my experience have shaped me to the man I am today, simply because I had to go through a learning process and to have these conversations with black men, even women and children, that we need to speak up, stand together, so that these experiences can be acknowledged by white people, brown people, all types of people, because at the end of the day, equality is the most important thing. Discrimination should be no more, and there should be justice for all these hate crimes that are going on in the world. And it shouldn't take a riot, it shouldn't take a death for people to wake up and say, this isn't right. So I want you guys all to share your experiences, understand that the feeling that we have is the same, whether it's discrimination or injustice. It's that feeling that we feel hopeless or feel afraid. We all feel that in these same instances. So I'm going to open the floor, allow you guys to share your experiences, and hopefully we can send a message out to the world to say that, hey, if we're not standing up, we're not speaking up, nothing's going to change. Because when you're not standing up and speaking up, you are a part of the problem.
I was living in Germany, playing in Germany, and that's where I experienced racism the most out of all the countries I've played: Finland, Germany, Sweden, and it's come to the time where us as older players, we need to take a stand and make a difference. I have a son in Europe now, and I wouldn't want to see him go through the things I've been through. He's a mixed kid at the end of the day, and people are going to look at him a certain way. Maybe he's going to be the only black kid in his class, but he should be treated fairly like everyone else. And it's up to us to kind of take a stand and make a difference, so the kids coming in the future don't have to go through the things that we've been through. So
I don't really face discrimination in country like that. I haven't really been anywhere internationally, but domestically, I remember when I was in grade 11. I was chilling with my friends at Tim Hortons, and his dad came to pick him up. And his dad, pulled him aside, talked to him, and then I didn't think anything of it. But the next day, my friend came up to me and he's like, my dad doesn't want me to hang out with you because he thinks I'm selling drugs, right? And that's because I have locks and, I'm Jamaican, so they think I'm gonna sell his son some weed or something like that. And that was the first discrimination I faced within my community in my school.
Me and my friends, we kind of just went to Dollarama to, pick up some snacks or whatever. And down there, they have a little security guard, make sure nobody really steals or anything. So he's sitting down at the chair, and the moment we walk in, he's on high alert, making sure that we don't really steal anything. So he's following me around the store. And then we get to the cashier and we pay and everything. And we're walking out, and he still asks to open up my bag to check if I stole anything. So even then, even at a young age, I'm only 14, and he's still thinking I might steal something after watching me go around the store and stuff.
Just the other day, I went to go drop my friend something that she left at my house, her AirPods, and as soon as I left, one of her neighbors goes up to her asking for my license plate and my name and stuff, saying that he's going to call the cops because he witnessed me give her a drug deal and that I was a drug dealer. So he called the cops and took pictures of my license plate, and nothing amounted to it because obviously I didn't do anything. But just to be labeled as that, just simply dropping off my friend's stuff is, it doesn't feel good, it doesn't sit well.
I grew up in a small town, and I went to school being the only black guy in my school, in elementary school and high school, and I would get, white guys coming up to me and saying, oh, my N-word this, and just, I didn't know how to react to that. I didn't have any black friends. I didn't know what was right and what was wrong, so, people would say, oh, pick him for the basketball team. He's black, he must be good, and just, for me, I didn't know how to react. I didn't know how to, feel, and I would go home sometimes feeling that I didn't belong. And just now that, you know, I'm able to have friends of all races, all colors, it's really, you know, made me feel better about myself looking back at that time. And I just feel like, you know, maybe I could have handled it better, but it's, you know, these things make us stronger, and now that things are going on, it's something that we can all talk about and all be together on.
Yeah, I just found it surprising coming from the islands, of course, and the things you hear about Canada, about how, especially Toronto, how multicultural it is, and, you know, the accepting of everybody of every kind. You see it here every day. You see, you know, Asians, Indians, Africans, everybody come together, and it's like not a problem. But for me, in separated cases where you're found by yourself, and you may be in a different neighborhood, and all of a sudden the entire thing, the scenario changes, where people looking out the windows, looking at you like you know, you're not from Canada, like, you know, like you're alien or something. I've experienced it playing football in London, where just because I think I was the only black kid there, and just because I was faster than everybody else, more athletically gifted than everybody else, you know, the parents of the other guys, and it's funny is the kids on the team were you know, more accepting. It was like, hey, you're pretty good and whatnot, and then to understand that their parents on the sidelines watching the game shouting stuff at you because, you know, you're better than the kid, or because of the color of your skin. You know, these kids on the field had a better sense of knowledge and a better sense of knowing that we're all human. I've always grown up to believe in the better of people, and I don't think it should have taken a death in Minnesota to bring to the point where we are now, to have people rioting and standing up for their rights. And it's really eye-opening to see that there is an opposing factor towards that. There are people who are actually fighting against that, and it's all about sticking together. And I don't know what it's going to take for everyone to realize that we're made out of flesh and bones. We have the same blood in our veins, and it's not a matter of the pigment on your skin. And the main factor is right now is that everybody has to stick together, and everybody has to keep coming together until, you know, the hate is eventually gone. It's something I pray for and I hope for every single day, that, you know, you worry about when you have kids later in the future, would they have the same future as what happened to George Floyd and all those other guys, you know? And it really makes you wonder as a person, as a human being, about the times that we live in.
When you leave your house, you feel like you have to check your shoulder at every moment because you don't know what's going to happen. We are all human beings. We all have the same right to live and walk on this earth the same way. We are all made up the same, yet because of the color of our skin, we're treated differently. And people can say, no, it's not that, but how come it's a common theme where we all share similar experiences? I've had experiences in Germany where at the time I couldn't understand what exactly they were saying until a teammate came up to me and said, they're calling you a monkey. And to hear that after the game, sitting on the bus and them throwing beer bottles and garbage at the bus simply because there was 3 or 4 black players on the bus, it actually discouraged me to want to continue on, because I'm an 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid not understanding why people have so much hate towards people playing the same game. Any color, any person can step in between those lines and perform something beautiful, you know? And this game is a beautiful game, but when you put hate, when you put discrimination, when you put racism into it, it becomes more than just the game, you know? It becomes a war, and we're not here to fight wars. There's so many different ways to be racist, and I've seen it. I've been walking on the street and a lady clutches her bag, crosses the street, and then I look back, she's crossed the street again. What do you call that? I call that racism. She's threatened by what? Because my skin color, because I have tattoos? She doesn't know me as a person. Like, these things it makes us feel the same way. Whether you calling me the N-word or doing that, it's the same feeling. And for us, like, what we're seeing in the world today is rage, because it's a reaction now. It's becoming such a burden now that everyone is reacting because they're tired of being quiet.
When I drive past a police officer, my music's blasting, I make sure I turn it down and wind up my window so he doesn't get to look at me, you know. I got used to it, so the whole movement was kind of like, it's about time we took a stand and we actually got some fresh air and said, you know what, why am I getting numb to this pain when I should be fighting against it and look for a change, you know? So I think it's empowering, and I'm happy for the movement, and I'm happy that us, not just as a black community, but us as a people are coming together, because all races are protesting to fight against a cause that is clearly an issue and that's been going on for many centuries.
Really, for me, it's just like being a young player, you know, you have to grow up quickly in a sense. You have to really take what's really happening in the world and stuff like that, because although you may think, oh, it's going away and stuff, even if it's not verbally, like, it's their body language, their face expressions when they see you on the road and stuff like that. So I feel like it's a good thing that we're finally taking a stand for what is right, and other people supporting it.
Back to what I just said, the biggest thing is us becoming numb to it, you know? I don't want my kids, or I have younger siblings, I don't want my siblings to have to feel that when they grow up, to feel that, oh, it's okay to be followed in the store, that, oh, when I walk into the store, it's gonna happen. I want them to walk in and just be able to, you know, be free like everyone else, just walk around and shop, or not have to roll out their window and things like that. So I think the movement is good to start change, and if you really look at it, we have started change, and we just need to keep going and keep being loud and keep being heard.
The change will start from us talking about it, because if we're not talking about it, nothing will be heard, and things will continue on the same path. So I thank you, gentlemen, for sharing your experiences, and hopefully change will come.